And good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, April the 27th. Something to know about what's going on with me is today I uploaded my final master's paper. So, in essence, except for some questions and answers, I am done with my master's. Woohoo! For my seniors, you're graduating soon too, so be excited. The rest of us, we got some work to do. First question of our solubility graph, and that's what this is. This is a solubility graph. You'll notice that on the x-axis, we have the solubility, and on the y-axis, we have the temperature. Okay, so for all of these solids, all of these solutes, all of them is a solid except for one. And it doesn't tell us which ones are solids and which ones are not, but I can see that all of these seem to have a positive slope except for one that has a negative slope. And if I look at how the scales change, a positive slope means that my solubility increases as my temperature increases. So it says for solids, as temperature, and I can type in increases, then solubility, there we go, solubility also increases. Okay, so if that's the case, let's see if we can take a look at the next example, and I'm going to switch over to using my highlighter now. In my next example, only one of these compounds is a gas, so I can see there is only one, and there it is. There's my highlighter, trying to get it all. I have only one compound that is a gas. That is this one here, and I can tell it's the only one that is a gas because it's the only one that has the opposite in trend. So what is the trend? As temperature, and here we have as temperature is still increasing, solubility, that is a negative slope. So solubility is decreasing. So let's write that in on our lines. As temperature increases, solubility decreases. Okay, so good to know. And let's continue on and see if we can answer the next question. And on our next question, I'm going to erase this stuff because it's in the way now. And our next question, it asks, how many grams of KNO3 can be dissolved in 100 grams of water at 40 degrees Celsius. So back to getting my highlighter. First things I'm looking for KNO3, and I am looking for 40 degrees Celsius. There's my 40 degrees Celsius. And I need to make sure I'm in 100 grams of water. So I'm going to go look at my y-axis and the label, and it says, in fact, that what I have is 100 grams of water. Okay, so how am I going to answer this question? To answer this question, let me change color so you can see it. To answer this question, I am going to follow the grid line at 40 all the way up to, I'm not drawing a straight line. You know this about me already. I do not draw straight lines very well. All the way up to where that line crosses the KNO3 line, and then I am going to read across to, that was a pretty straight line, across to where that occurs on the solubility y-axis, and then I'm going to be able to figure out through a little bit of estimation what that is. So it's a little bit below halfway between 60 and 70, so I'm going to guess that that is somewhere around 63 grams. Okay, so now the next question, I want to add in an extra question here, and that is, what if the amount of water is doubled, say to 200 grams? And then I want to know, what is the solubility? All right, so remember what we had. We had, and we'll change colors again so you can see it, we had a solubility of, here we go. We had a solubility of 63 grams in 100 grams of water, but now we know what about 200 grams of water. To figure that one out, we are simply going to have to recognize that we have doubled the amount of water. So doubling the amount of grams of solute is what we have. So we'd end up with 63 grams to answer this question. Oops, there we go. To answer this question, we would multiply 63 grams times 2. And if we do that, we are going to end up with, and I'm going to get rid of the space so you can see what is going on, we will end up with approximately 126 grams of KCl. So that's the kind of thing that you are going to be doing while you answer some of these questions. Let's go ahead and scroll actually, because I want to answer a few more questions with you. Let's take a look at number 4, number 5, and number 6. Okay, so if we look at number 4, it says how many grams of KNO3? Ooh, was that last one KNO3? It was. Let me make sure I label that one correctly. NO3. Okay. So the question becomes is how many grams of KNO3 can be dissolved to make a saturated solution in 200 grams of water? So I'm going to pull this, take a look. I'm still looking at that KNO3 line, and now I'm going to take a look at 200 grams of water. So I need to make sure that I go read this correctly. So I'm going to grab my highlighter tool. This time, however, I got to scroll so we can see the whole graph. This time, however, we're not looking at 40 degrees Celsius anymore. Now we're looking at 45. So I'm going to bring my highlighter, and you can't see that, so we're going to try a different color. I'm going to bring my highlighter all the way up at 45, and I know I'm not drawing a straight line, so 45 is somewhere right in there. And then I'm going to read across from the y-axis at 45, and I'm coming in with somewhere around approximately 75 grams if what I have is 100 grams of water, if I have 100 grams of water. Well, let's see if we can be clear here. If I have 100 grams of water, then 75 is my answer, but I don't have 100 grams of water. I have 200 grams of water. Okay, so what do? I use the 75 grams for 100 grams of water, and I multiply it by 2 so that I can figure out how much KNO3 will fit in 200 grams of water. Multiplying that by 2 gives me 150 grams. All right. Let's take a look at one other example. And the one other example is going to be where we are taking a look at the solute KClO3. And we're going to look at 50 degrees Celsius. And we're going to remember that, we have 3 times the amount of water. So whatever answer we get is going to be multiplied by 3. Okay, so whatever this answer is, after we look at the graph, we're going to multiply that by 3. Okay, so we're going to scroll on up and find our KClO3 line, and there is our KClO3 line. And we're going to read at 50 degrees Celsius, and we're going to determine what the solubility is in 100 grams of water. Okay, so I am reading my graph up to, and I'm going to go up to 50, and I'm going to read across to the line here. I am guessing that that is somewhere around 18 grams or 19 grams. Okay, so let's go with 19 grams just for the sake of continuity here. We're going to go to 19 grams. And so that means back down here at number 5, we are going to put in 19 grams. All right, but that is not our answer. Remember, we have 3 times the amount of water. So 3 times the amount of water, 3 times 19 is going to give us, it looks like 57 grams. I apologize if I didn't get it right. Let me check my work really quick. 19 times 3. Yay, I got it right. All right, your job is to finish the rest of these problems inside this, this worksheet and get it turned in. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.